Hey everybody, happy full moon in Libra. Libra is about balance, and if you look at twos in tarot, they actually they represent duality, balance, and relationship. So it's the Justice card. It's the Two of Pentacles, the balance, the temperance. So everybody's working on finding inner balance and reconciling relationships, getting rid of old baggage from the past. And Mercury is in retrograde as well as Venus. She comes out of retrograde the day after Easter. So happy Easter, everybody. So this is a time of balance, rebirth, renewal. So I hope everybody can find peace with where they're at and peace with their past. So maybe work on communication and how you treat others and how you show up, and forgive what you need to forgive and let go of what you need to let go of, and also remember the good times too. You know, maybe they weren't all bad, and once you kind of remember that balance, it might let you or help you to release something you're holding on to. So dreams may help with that. So pay attention to the signs and the messages. So after I shuffled, the Two of Cups was on the bottom. So this is about balance again. This is the alchemy of two souls intertwining. They're still individual, but together. There's a heart hanging from the tree, so they have been there for a while and they're still in love. So that's the overall energy. And then under that was the Ace of Swords. So maybe some truth coming to light and being a good foundation. So the spread I'm going to do is past, present, future, and then a problem or karmic issue, the advice, and then the outcome if the advice is followed. So in the past, we have the Ten of Pentacles. Tens represent completion, and this card is a stained glass window. She's also got a buddy that's a dragon that's helping her out. So she's a very powerful person. She has worked very hard to perfect her craft and make this. So in the past, you had everything physically you need to manifest a good life, a good relationship. So that's a very positive card. You have all of your earthly needs met. You have everything that you need. So in the second card, we have the present. Strength card. So now, as we work on the temperance, he has contained his fiery Leo fire sign energy in the sphere. She pets him. She's tamed the beast. So right now, as we balance and we're coming towards the end of the Venus in retrograde time, we have achieved this, and there's 4, 5, 6 birds, and we have 2 love birds down here in this cup. So that could be like the Ace of Cups with the 2 birds. The third card is the future. And this is the Seven of Swords. This card has a bit of a sneaky, deceptive sort of energy to it. There is a mask that he's wearing. He is kind of dressed like a crow, but the crows, they're calling him out on stealing the sword. The swan can actually see him. She's looking at him out of the corner of her eye. She represents purity and truth, and he has wings. He is actually an angel, but he has a mask on. He's trying to be something he's not. That is what we need to be aware of. So it'll be interesting to see how the advice cards come out. Because that's just a warning. That's what you need to work on for the moon. And there she is looking at the moon. So the moon is the enlightenment and truth, and she's embracing it, and he is denying it. Taking something that's not his and denying who he is. Okay. The karmic problem is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. He is actually creating something, starting something in the physical world. Money may be coming in. So I wanted to look that one up because this card, this deck is interesting, and sometimes the messages in the description are actually what it's meaning besides the traditional. Okay. The foliage parts for him in a narrow path, and he has eyes for none of the temptations that surround him. He does not notice. He has eyes only for the light that is his goal. The Knight of Pentacles is methodical, thorough, unwavering. He is upon the crest of an earth dragon, grounded and slow, but undeniable in its progress. Where he sets his sights will be reached. So maybe the problem is getting a start. Setting our intention, our path, our goal, and just start moving. When he reaches the goal, he strikes with all the force of the earth that is his to summon. The weighty might of giants, the thunderous roll of an earthquake, the brushing of a mighty tree's roots through soil and sand and stone, soil and stone. I think it's to remember who we are and to really connect with the power that we have been given just coming here and our creative power. So whatever that means to you, it could be ancestral. That's been coming up too. It seems like right now the energy is like bigger than everything else. I mean, like bigger than we are. It seems like there's transmuting. You can even look and see what's going on in the world. I knew something was going to happen like this, and I'm just hoping that it does not blow up. I hope it kind of lets everybody puff off some steam, get it out of your system, shoot some stuff, but I just hope everybody prays that nobody else gets killed. This is just, it's ridiculous. It has to stop. It has to. Okay, so the advice card is the Eight of Wands. and this has come up before. 8s are about movement, swift movement. This one is about messages. It's a fire sign, so it's a creative, fiery energy. It could be love messages. She's blowing the seeds of a dandelion, so it's a new start, a new growth. It is progress. So if our problem is that we can't get started, our advice is to make some effort and get started. Okay, and then the likely outcome, if we follow this, is the 5 of Swords in reverse. So it'll be hopefully the ending of a fight or a quarrel. This deck, the artist does not want it to be read or reversed, but she still says you can if you want to, but she does not feel the need to write the meanings of the reversals of these cards. Fair enough. But I am inclined to read this one in reverse personally. And what's funny is I noticed we have Pentacles. I still consider this a fire card. And Swords. And before I turned this, I thought, wow, it would be uncanny if that was a sword, and it is. So, I want to do a couple clarifiers, I think, because I'm having fun, and clarify the 7 of Swords, and clarify the outcome. And I know I messed up the 2 of Cups, but now we have the 3 of Pentacles, and that's actually a really good card to have for new relationships, that are coming up, and hopefully for everybody. This is creativity, birth, and growth. It's partnership. Traditionally, it's the architect and the planners and I think the religious figure, that they're all working together. Seem to be a pretty good team to build a cathedral. We all know that they came out beautifully and they're long lasting. So that's a nice card to have overall too. Okay, so our clarifier for the 7 of Swords is the 3 of Swords, and that's the future. So I'm reading this as a warning. I really am reading it as a warning for everybody. And I'm inclined to read that one, because to get those 2 together, it looks very macabre and depressing. So here, the grand strength and beauty of a swan is brought down by betrayal. She mourns with blood tears for the wounding of the heart. She is far from a helpless creature. She will fight ferociously to defend herself or her young, and yet there is no sign of struggle. Perhaps she bared herself as a sacrifice. She stepped forth alone and laid down her defenses. Was it anguish and grief that brought her down? There is grief and heartbreak in this 3 of Swords. There is a feeling of loneliness, separation, and isolation. There is no one to give solace or lend a hand. Has everyone deserted in this time of greatest need? The world abandons and betrays by turning its back on the destruction of beauty and the rending of a fragile emotional state. Overcome the pain. The weeping of the heart is perhaps a necessary cleansing. Let that torment drain away. Be purified of the black blood, and then lift up white wings to dance with the sky once again. So, after all, it's not such a bad card. It's been very, very heavy. It's been a hard struggle. There has been heartbreak, and like I said, it's a time of transmuting, but I also think this is a warning, maybe of be careful with how you treat others, and things that can't be undone. I saw a reader read this one time and said, just like the reading in the book, you can pull out the swords and maybe get up and walk again, but you're never going to be the same. You're always going to have the scars, or she might die. So it's just a warning to be careful, and it's be careful with holding on to it too. So I would let it go, let the black blood drain out, and whatever you feel that is for you on a micro or macro level, because that was the likely outcome. But I kind of read these together. Not the outcome, the future, but I read these together as this would be kind of like the advice section. So the advice is to get moving, but the clarifier on the fight is with the Empress card. This has come up as something that the masculine has been battling with, but it seems like he's been getting softer towards it. So it's either a woman in his life, a mother figure, a strong woman, someone who's influencing him. It could be how he sees the feminine as the head of the family, as the matriarch. He may be seeing her kind of like the Madonna and the whore. So he's really embracing the Madonna side and balancing his feminine energies. So I'm sorry if that was a disjointed reading. I got really thrown off a couple of times about the masculines out of balance right now. So hopefully the Libra moon will help everything kind of transmute out, and maybe they can calm down, and once they decide nobody's actually going to nuke each other, maybe we can go back to working towards peace, because I think everybody liked that a lot better. And the people who are trying to keep us in low vibration maybe should be looked at. All right, happy full moon. Bye.